Julie, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we got you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but I was trying to call in through the phone and it wasn't letting me in. It said the meeting never started.
Okay, well, we got you now, so that's a good thing. And did I see Jed? Do we need to do a voice check for Jed? I'm looking for the name again.
I'm gonna try to call in one more time. I trust my phone better than I do the internet.
Julia and Ken Bradshaw, the two of you, could we do quick voice checks, please?
Hey, this is Ken.
Thank you, Ken.
Hey, Julie.
Jed, same for you. Can we do a quick voice check, please? And I don't think we heard from Alyssa, so maybe you want to pop in and say hello real quick before we get started.
Good morning, this is Alyssa. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Sounds great.
Wonderful.
Julia, do you want to say hello real quick so we can hear you, please? She may be distracted with something else also. Give us just a second, folks, to get started. I'm sorry. Okay, for the folks on the phone, I'm going to go ahead and ask that we get going this morning. Thank you.
Recording in progress.
Julie, I switched to the phone. The second number that was listed, it seems to be working. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Thank you. And for those who are on, we're just going to wait a couple more seconds to get the public attendees into the meeting, and then we'll get started. So thank you all so much for joining us. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our quarterly meeting of the Technical Oversight Committee. I'm Julie LaRocque in a very vacant auditorium, but I see we have a member of the public here, so thank you for attending in person, and we have quite a crowd on the Zoom call. So just so that we can identify ourselves to all the listeners, if you could, I'm just going to call out the Special Master and the T.O.C. reps. We have several others on the phone from the various agencies, but Mr. Barquette, could you please say hello to everybody?
Good morning. Good morning to everyone.
How about you, Dan?
Hey, good morning. Dan Crawford with the Corps.
How about DEP, Mr. Smith?
Good morning, Julie. Ed Smith, DEP.
Thank you. Refuge?
We're gonna have to reboot the computer.
I know Lori's here. How about you, Donato? You just want to say hello to the group here, please?
Good morning. Donato Friday, Everglades National Park.
Hey, good morning, Julie. It's Lori with the Refuge.
Great, thank you so much. I'm going to go through a bunch of administrative stuff, and it's a little different than the usual, but that's okay. We'll get there. We've all been doing these meetings via Zoom for the past, year and a half, I guess. And so I'm fortunate here at the district to be able to still use my computer for some things that I had previously used paper for. So for those of you who are panelists or attendees, if you would please put yourself on mute if you're not speaking, that'll help us avoid any possible distractions and background information. And for everyone, again, we appreciate if you would only use your audio on one device, again, for the same reason. For those of you that are calling in using a phone, you'll need to use *9 to raise your hand, and you will mute and unmute your microphone by pressing *6, and I will repeat that information when we enter into the public comments at the end. And we will take public comments at the end. Comments... Well, we don't really have anything big to vote on today except for the meeting notes, which we don't typically get public comments on, so I'm not going to go there. So we're here today, in our effort to still encourage participation by folks and get information out to you all by whatever means you appreciate using. And so today we've got live here in the auditorium plus Zoom. And we all want to still prevent the possible spread of COVID-19. Let's see, we will have public comment at the end. If you're here in person and you're thinking to make a public comment, if you don't mind, please fill out that little comment sheet for us so that I don't accidentally forget you. And I know we don't have a huge number of people here, but that's okay. Let's see, you're going to raise your hand when you want to do public comment, and we don't use chat here, so if there's other issues that you're having, we'll hopefully hear from you. Let's see, for the reps, we're going to do action items toward the end of the meeting, so we'll do that. All right. So I'm looking at the T.O.C. webpage right now, and I wanted to let you know on the main webpage we have the refuge compliance table through the first quarter of 21, the provisional Shark River Slough tracking through the first quarter of 21, and these are calendar quarters, by the way. Taylor Slough Coastal Basin, same thing, through the first quarter of 21. So you'll see those on the main page. And then the settlement agreement report itself is also posted there, again, through the first quarter, along with the quality assessment report and the associated data tables. Our agenda for today is posted on the main page as well, and in the leftmost column, if you click on the read aheads, you'll see that we have the presentation that you're going to see. The report is again available here, and the notes from the May meeting are all there. So all those items are on the webpage for those of you who are not here with us. We have a very teeny pile of paper copies of things in the back. And I think that gets us to where we're ready to start the meeting. All right, so that takes care of welcoming and opening business. I don't know if anybody has agenda modifications. I did want to make a note that For agenda item number 2, we've asked our lead engineer, Chelsea Q, to do the settlement agreement presentation for today, and we'll call her up in just a second. Does anybody else have any adjustments or anything on the agenda right now? I am not seeing raised hands or hearing anything, so I think we're good to go. The next item is to look at the May 4th meeting summary. Hopefully you've all seen that and had a chance to look at it. I would entertain comments, changes, move to approve for the May meeting.
This is Donato. I have no changes.
This is Dan Crawford. I have no changes as well.
This is Ed Smith, no changes from DEP.
Okay, so I don't think we need to vote. Lori, you had any changes?
Negative, Julie. No changes.
Thank you all so much. So I will take that as the May meeting notes are now approved to be finalized, and we will do that and get those reposted. Okay, our next agenda item is the first quarter settlement agreement report, and I'm delighted to introduce you all to Chelsea Q. She's the lead engineer working with John Madden and myself, and she has graciously agreed to do our presentation today. So take it away, Chelsea.
There's some background noise. Pounding.
Somebody needs to mute their phone. I'm looking at Lori, maybe.
Well, I'm muted, Julie. I don't know if you guys need to mute me, so I have to come back to *6, but I'm sitting here on mute.
Let's real quick see if we can get rid of that clicking sound. I'm showing you is not muted on my end, but if everybody could just double check, that would be great. Thank you.
I'm hearing it as well, Julie.
Whoever that was, thank you.
Yeah, it just disappeared, almost gone.
Thank you, Julie. Good morning, Mr. Barquette, T.O.C. reps. Thank you very much for having me today to present the first quarter of 2021 settlement agreement report. So we're adding 3-month information to the total phosphorus compliance. As Judy mentioned, a series of documents for this quarter reporting has been posted on the website. And this presentation includes monthly updates for the January through March period for the refugee and 12-month tracking results for the park inflows at Shark River Slough and Taylor Slough and coastal basins. Because the compliance for the park inflows is assessed on a water year basis. So the first quarter ending in March is about halfway through water year 2021, and the 12-month tracking results include data from half of water year 2020 and half of water year 2021. So this is a summary table for the first quarter update. So starting at the top, for the refugee from January through March, the monthly observed geometric mean concentration was consistent below its respective long-term level. The March stage was high enough, allowing us to collect all 14 samples. For Shark River Slough, shown in this middle portion, the 12-month tracking results are still provisional, and the flow mean concentration through March was still below the long-term limit. so 0.2 parts per billion below the long-term limit. The percentage of samples greater than 10 parts per billion was also below this guideline of 40.1%. For Taylor Slough and coastal basins, the 12-month tracking flow wave mean concentration through March was 5.7 parts per billion, about half of the long-term limit, fixed at 11 parts per billion. Also, the percentage of samples above 10 parts per billion was very low. This slide shows the refugee monthly TP compliance information for the past 3 years. Here, this stepwise line with purple background is for the March stage. And the long-term level shown in this red line is the expectation for the monthly geometric mean TP concentrations to meet. And it's also inversely related to stages. So when we see stage were high, the long-term level was low. And those blue-red dots represent the monthly geometric mean concentrations for collected samples. So if these blue dots are below this red line, then the geometric mean concentration meet the expectation. So we see one excursion in September 2020, but it takes 2 excursions within 12 months to be considered as an exceedance. So we don't have an exceedance. And since then, the monthly geometric means were consistent below the long-term level. And the 36-month average TP geometric concentrations was 6.8 parts per billion. It's 2.9 parts per billion below the long-term level and also below the 7 number expected by the consent decree. So stretch the long-term level to a 0 line, we can see the deviation of monthly geometric means from the long-term level. So again, the 36-month average of geometric means were 2.9 parts per billion below the long-term level. So we've covered these 3 months for our official reporting. Now, the 4-month outlook with preliminary data still looks good. So the monthly observed geometric means was still consistent below the long-term level for each month. And the March stage was declining, then came back in July because the marsh was drying out and we weren't able to collect all 14 samples in this month. Move on to Shark River Slough. The 12-month tracking results are still provisional because as 12 flows are provisional. Then the 12-month through March, we already sent close to 2 million acre-feet of flow to Shark River Slough, which is a great thing. And we try to send water south as much as possible. And when we had this high flow, the long-term limit was reached its minimum, 7.6 parts per billion. But through March, the flow wave mean concentration was still 0.2 parts per billion below the limit. Looking at the long historical compliance status, This just reminds where we are. So the last blue bar is for the flow imine concentration in water year 2020, which is the most recent, and it's just below the long-term limit. And over the past 4 years, we had alternating results. And this slide provides more information for understanding the system conditions. So it includes the water conservation area 3A stages, Shuck River Slough inflows, and flow imine concentrations for water year 2020, 2021, update through July. So here, this blue, thick blue line represents stage in WCA 3A, average north, central, and south gauges. And this red line represents S33 headwater. So this shaded blue area represents the flow, daily flow sent to Shuck River Slough, and those yellow dots represent our weekly sampling TP concentrations. So here we can see in November and December 2020, the WCA 3A stage was very high, exceeded this blue dashed line. It's called extreme high water line set by a combined operational plan. Then large discharges were sent to Shuck River Slough along with low TP concentrations. Water year 2021 is also the first year fully implementing combined operational plan, what's called COP, and the Tamiami Trail flow formula. So here, when WCA 3 stage was below this black line, then Tamiami Trail flow formula kicked in and allowed to send more water to Shuck River Slough. So here, this blue line marked the end of first quarter, and we see stage in WCA 3 was decreasing, and TP concentration was increasing. Then from April 1st, for the 4 month looking ahead, then we see stages in WCA 3A continued the declining trend, and S33 headwater reached 8 feet NGVD 29 in April and 7.5 feet in June. And then we also see the TP concentration increased and peak then decreased as stages came back in June and July. In the next few slides, I will show the daily flow at Shuck River Slough inflow structures over the last 3 years. So here we can clearly see 3 wet seasons. For the water year 2021, the flow jumped in November and December and peaked at about 8,000 cubic feet per second. And just from October to mid-January, 3.5 months, 1 million acre-feet flow was already sent to Shuck River Slough, which resulted in a long-term limit to its minimum, 7.6 parts per billion, and will stay at this level throughout the water year 2021. So 7.6 parts per billion is the number we need to meet for this water year. So here at the right side, we see the first quarter flow to Shuck River Slough. So from the bottom, this is for the flow S12A, B, C, D, these increasing blue shade area. So S12 A, B, C, D passed about half of the total flows in first quarter. Then S333 in this dark blue shade, S33 North in the red shade, send about 44% of flow. Then on the top, the yellow shade is for S356, sending about 6% of the total flow in first quarter. Now plotting these flows at individual structure for looking at the distribution. And this slide shows the flows at S12 A, B, C, D in the west segment of L29 canal discharging to West Shark River Slough. So because of the high stage in Water Conservation Area 3A, the Army Corps of Engineers implemented emergency deviation, allowing S12 A-B gates remained open past its October 1st closing deadline. So S12 A-B was closed in January, S12C was closed in February, and S12D remained open through the end of the first quarter. Here we can clearly see these flows were triple. The peak was triple about the previous peaks. Here looking at the flows in the east segment of L29 canal discharging to northeast Shark River Slough. For the first quarter, S333 at the top, S33 North, and S356 were discharging into northeast Shark River Slough. And this middle panel shows flow at S356 in the blue color and S335 flow in the red color. You see only this overlapped area represented in yellow color was counted towards compliance calculation, because this water represents the water coming out of water conservation areas, passed by S335, then pumped by S356 into Shark River Slough. Now again, in the east segment L29 canal, we're looking at all the inflows and outflows into this segment. Then S33 discharge shown in this dark blue color, S33 north flow shown in this red color. They discharge from the west end to this canal. Then whatever under this red line is not counted towards flow volume concentration compliance calculation, because these water was passed by S335 at the east end to south date, and they didn't flow into the park. Now looking at the biweekly sampling event flow volume concentration in cyan dots, and the flow of the days when we collect samples in blue bars, we see the similar trend shown in the daily flow, the chart. Then here we see high flow from October to December and continued through this quarter. And also we see the flow volume concentration steadily increased in this quarter. So add another line of blue diamonds representing the 12-month tracking flow volume concentration. So the last diamond of 7.4 parts per billion is the number we're reporting for the end of the first quarter. So moving on to Taylor Slough and coastal basins, the 12-month tracking flow mean concentration through March was at 5.7 parts per billion, about half of the long-term limit, the 11 parts per billion number. So looking at the long history of compliance status, these bars represent the observed level, TPE flow mean concentration. So the observed levels were well below the long-term limit, 11 number. And also the 5-year average was at 5.6 parts per billion, also below the 6 parts per billion indicated by the consent decree. Now we're moving on to daily flows at structures. And here the bottom purple area represents flow pumped by S332D, and this middle dark blue color represents flow at G737, and then the top yellow shade represents flow at S18C. Again, we see a high flow in November, December period. And for the first quarter, about half of flow was passed by S18C. Now plot flow at each individual structure. Again, for the top flow at S18C in November, the peak flow was as high as 1,700 cubic feet per second. Now reduced, this quarter reduced to about 300 CFS, but still consistent delivery. On the second panel, it shows flow at G737. This is a surface water discharging point to Taylor Slough, and usually the flow was very low, less than 60 cubic feet per second. And this slide shows the flow pumped by S332D and the fate of these water. So here the purple area represents flow pumped by S332D, and the red line represents flow sent to north to a detention area by DX1. DX1 flow does not result in any surface water flow to the park. So it's not included in compliance calculation. Then this neon green line represents flow at S328, which is a carries surface water discharge to the park. So for the first quarter of S332D pumped flow, half of went to DX1 to the north, about 10% ended up at S328. Now looking at the sampling event flow with mean concentration in cyan dots, they're all very low, except one spike in November 2020 associated with Tropical Storm Eta. Then add a line of blue diamonds. The last number, 5.7 parts per billion, is the number we're reporting for the 12-month tracking through March. That's all I have. Now I'm opening up to questions.
Thank you, Chelsea. Do any of the reps have questions or comments for Chelsea?
Hey, T.O.C, this is Donato. Thank you for that presentation and the way you delivered it. One thing that you pointed out, and I appreciate it, was the breakdown of flows, the partitioning of flows east and west. And you described it as, for the first quarter, as being around 50-50. So to me, that puts us headed on the right track. Our long-term objective, obviously, is to get to 80% of the flows going east towards Northeast Shark River Slough and 20% going to the west. During our transition period, however, we are sitting around 60-40 split, which is our desired target right now. And we acknowledge that as we continue to bring on restoration features, we'll be able to relax our stage constraint on the eastern side of S333 on the L29 canal, and allow stages to rise higher and allow us to get closer to that 80% distribution to the east. But right now, we seem to be right on track on where we're trying to go. And I just want to kind of point out the collaborations that we've been having with the district and the Corps of Engineers. And all of these operations pretty much on the park side have been led by Jed Redwine. And if he wanted to make a comment here, I think it would be apropos. Thank you. Thank you, Chelsea. Like I said, it's a good presentation. I just wanted to add that 2 cents there.
Thank you, Donato. Jed, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, Julie, I would like to add something. Thank you very much. I just want to say, it shouldn't be lost on anybody that we had a good year with respect to water quality with the high volume of flows last year. We also had an excellent year with respect to wading bird reproduction behavior and the ecological response across the system. So for me, I just wanted to be clear that we have a hopeful sign. The early indications for their application of COP is that we can do both. We can generate a very positive, widespread regional ecological response while also managing water quality and delivering water to the key parts of the landscape. So my main comment is last year was, we have a lot to celebrate from last year. And I think we have some good tools and information for helping us move forward with the hope that there's more celebrations to come with respect to the system response to restoration and the water quality performance of the system. Over.
Thank you both. Those are very positive comments. Any other reps? It looks like one of our public participants has a hand raised, so we'll get to you shortly when we do public comments. All right, thank you. I don't think we have anything else on the quarterly report, so thank you again, Chelsea. Great job. Okay, our next agenda item is an update from the S333 working group, and I guess it really isn't exactly the working group that we have on the agenda here, but the working group is met. They've presented their recommendations to the agency leaders, and there's a couple of pieces that are about to get underway, and we've asked Donato and Mark to let us know what those are. So Donato, could you give us an update on the pieces you're involved with, please?
Definitely. Thanks again. So like Julie said, we've been undertaking a lot of work over the last few months. On June 4th, we had our sub-team breakout. So, we broke out into 2 subsections into the working group. One of them focusing on sediment characterization, another on the hydrologic dynamic modeling. My team is focusing on the sediment characterization component. And we had one of our team members from the South Florida Natural Resources Center, Dilip Shinde, host a presentation and discussion on our proposals that we put forward with respect to trying to characterize the sediments in the headwaters of S333, and getting actually far enough to try to trace sources of those sediments coming there. And again, the idea there is to try to understand the dynamics driving the spiking conditions that we've been seeing in the phosphorus concentrations and contributing to exceedances over there. During that discussion, we took a lot of feedback from the agencies that are involved. We got a lot of feedback on the sampling design, water quality, sediment, and flock chemistry components that we needed to have incorporated. And we went away and we incorporated those into our proposals. And then on July 20th, we disseminated the proposals that we had. And there was 3 basic proposals, and we sent them out just to make sure that we got all of the feedback necessary to ensure that we got the objectives handled completely. When we did this, however, we were in a time constraint, so we'd already had identified the funding for each of the 3 projects that we delivered. So the idea there would be if there were things that needed to be captured, we would just try to do our best to move things around within the project proposals to make sure we stay within our budget. So with that in mind, like I said, there were 3 basic projects. The first one is titled Investigating Sediment and Flock Transport of Phosphorus at 333 Gated Structures on the northern boundary of Everglades National Park. This project is being led by FIU as our PI, John Kamenowski. And it explores the relationships between water level depth, current velocity, and sediment transport processes at the onset of the wet season associated with total phosphorus peaks. Initial test runs for this project have been performed to assess the sampling protocol, and results have been reviewed to inform our sampling effort, which will be coming up in spring, summer of 2022. So that's project number 1. Project number 2 is an autonomous surface vehicle sediment profiling for the L67 and L29 canal, so L67A. And this is upstream of the S333 complex. Here we are examining the feasibility of estimating the sediment depth with contemporary eco-sounders, multi-beam sonars, along with the L67A and L29 canal. We're trying to quantify the sediment bed load in these 2 canals. So if the technology itself works, then we'll be able to estimate the volumes of sediment in the upstream canal sections, and we'll have a better understanding of the bed loads. So that'll give us an idea of how much of the sediment we have to dispose if we choose to go down the road of dredging that sediment out of the system. Then our 3rd project was profiling, sourcing, and characterizing sediments in the L67A and L29 canals upstream of the 333 complex. Here we are characterizing the origination sources of the sediment phosphorus and the particular phosphorus in our source waters. We're quantifying the potential sediment and flock TP loads in the canal and adjacent marshes that may contribute to the TP peaks at 333. We're quantifying the particle size distribution and concentration in the waters flowing through the S333 gate. Then we're characterizing the sediments, canal and marsh sediments, for physical and chemical properties in relationship to the phosphorus content and potential transport. Finally, this portion of the study will help identify specifically where we need to be trying to implement any type of remedies. In this case, the idea would be doing some type of dredging. And, this would be a low-level dredging concept, vacuum dredging or hydraulic dredging, I think the proper term. But it should be a low level, and we're not trying to change the structure of the canal or anything like that, just removing light flocculent material. So those are 3 basic projects, and they're underway. They're fully funded right now, and we're looking at some portions of these being initiated starting as early as October, as far as literature reviews and stuff like that go for some of the studies. And then some of the physical on-the-ground work can start in December, and then more of that will be implemented in the spring, the summer periods of 2022. With that, that's my update, and I will entertain any questions or comments.
Thank you, Donato. Anything from the reps for Donato right now? Okay, how about you, Mark? You could give us a brief update on what's going on your end. That would be great. Thank you.
The district is currently developing a scope of work for a study that will help identify the hydrodynamic processes that are conducive to the transport of the sediment and phosphorus through the S33 structure complex. And it'll also evaluate some potential remedial measures to try to mitigate that and lessen that transfer. This study includes an initial phase, which we'll be conducting in-house in the Hydrology and Hydraulics Bureau, using an existing computational fluid dynamics model that was developed to support the hydraulic design of S333N. Its domain will encompass on the order of 1,000 feet or so on either side of the structure. and is going to look in detail at the hydrodynamics of flow within the local vicinity of the structure, and to see what measures could be enacted to mitigate any adverse hydrodynamics that may be conducive to the transport of sediment and phosphorus. The results of that study will be reviewed by all agency principals, and then a determination at that time will be made if we need to do any further or larger scale studies to add on to this. Right now, the scope work is still in draft form, and it's undergoing review by district staff and other team members of the cooperating agencies. That's pretty much summarize where we are at this point.
Great, thank you, Mark. Any further comment from the reps? I'm very pleased to see that we have a few things going on, and I think that it's great, and hopefully we can get to the bottom of what we're seeing down at Shark River Slough.
Hey, Julie, this is Dan Crawford with the Corps. I just want to relay the Corps' appreciation for the extensive coordination work that the Park Service under Donato and Dilip's leadership and the Water Management District's coordination under Manahal and Mark's leadership. I just want to say I really appreciate the coordination on these studies to ensure we're all in lockstep on gathering that data moving forward. So thank you very much.
You betcha. Anything else from our reps here today, or Mr. Burkett?
Hey, Julie, this is Ed Smith, DEP. Just want to echo Dan's sentiment. I think that's good. It does highlight there's a lot of cooperation and coordination going on between all the agencies, and it certainly is helpful to see this progress moving forward. Donato, really looking forward to seeing the results. Do you know, you said FY 2022, do you have is it earlier 2022? Do you know that?
But the initial, some of the larger portions of our sampling design are going to be focused on that transition from the dry to wet season. So that'll be that spring, summer portion. But okay. We do still have to have all of the data, analyzed and evaluated. So it'll be some time. We'll need a couple of months after we get all the data collected. But we'll get back with you immediately.
Cool. No, just curious, just trying to get time frames. And then Mark, just real quick, do you have an estimate of when you all think you'll be able to begin? I know you said scope of work is in draft form, still being worked out, but do you have anything to kind of give us you looking at later this year? Is it early 2022, those kind of things?
Right now, we are anticipating sometime during the first quarter, we may be able to get started. Maybe later in that quarter, but sometime late first quarter at best.
Excellent, very good. Thank you, appreciate the update.
Anything else for these two gentlemen?
Of course, that again depends on when the scope is, we've reached a consensus and we're ready to move forward, but that's what I'm anticipating at this point.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate everybody's updates and participation this morning. I think we shall now move into the public comment period. So we have, I don't know if we have somebody here. Looking around, I guess not. We don't have anybody in the auditorium right now to make public comment, but for those of you who've dialed in, I see we have a couple hands raised, so we'll get right to you. First up, we have Jean Duncan. Hi, Jean.
Can you hear me? Let's see. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we're hearing someone else also. So if you're not Jean Duncan, if you could please mute, that would be great.
Is that really better?
We can hear you, Jean, but you're coming through kind of garbled.
I think maybe if you back off your microphone a little bit, maybe we'll hear you a little bit clearer.
Now, is that better? A little better?
A little bit, yes. We can muddle through.
All right. My question is really simple. I went to the Water Management District's website for the weekly STA performance summary. And I have some questions about the performance of the STAs right now. The 365-day value, the whole last year, the outflow concentration from STA 1 East, 41. And from 1 West, it's 40. And the one that discharges onto the tribes lands, STA 5-6, for the whole last year, the average is 74. What I'm wondering is what's going on with the STAs? And how can the Loxahatchee be in compliance if both of the STAs are discharging at 40 over the whole period of a year? Can somebody let me know what happens? Thank you.
Thank you, Jean, for the comments and question. We'll have to get back to you. I think we got most of what you were asking. I would personally want to look at the data again. So thank you so much. Okay, next we have Yogesh. If you could please unmute yourself.
Hello, this is Yogesh Khare from the Everglades Foundation. Can you hear me?
Yes, it would be really nice if you could speak up just a teeny bit, please.
Sure. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. First of all, thanks a lot for today's updates. It was a great presentation, very informative. Also, thanks a lot to the S333 working group. It is very nice to see those studies moving forward. The only concern that I have is that these studies related to sediment transport and hydraulics may take number of months or maybe even years. Currently, we do not have definite time frame for those. Are you considering any near-term solutions to prevent large loads going into the park till we have results of those studies and more concrete solutions for the long term? I think that will be very important to prevent water quality deterioration for the park. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we appreciate the comments. I think you'll be hearing more in the coming months at future T.O.C. meetings. Do we have any other comments from members of the public? Okay, I'm not seeing any raised hands. I think I've got this down here compared with operating from my house here the last year and a half. First of all, thanks again, everybody, for participating today. I know this is always an adventure, and we don't need to make it, too big of an adventure for you guys. I would ask the reps to please take a look at their calendars. We have a couple of future possible quarterly meeting dates. One of them would be October 26th. The other is November 2nd. It sounds like we're not going to need a special meeting or anything in September, so we're going to skip the date that you'll see on your agenda there.
Hey, Julie, this is Lori with the Refuge. All of the dates that you have on the agenda work for me.
Thank you. Dan, Donato, Ed, Barquette, any comments on October 26th or November 2nd?
Hey, Julie, this is Ed Smith. Both dates work really well for me also. Thank you.
And this is John Barquette. I can do both.
This is Donato. I can do both as well.
So are you guys telling me I got to toss a coin right now and pick one?
Hey, Julie, but I honestly would prefer to push it out a little bit to give us some working time. If we just have a meeting like next month, hasn't given us a lot of working time. So I would just maybe recommend November.
I am totally good with that, and I was thinking the same thing. So if you guys are all okay, we'll schedule the next quarterly meeting for November 2nd, and we'll look forward to either seeing you here or hearing you on Zoom. I don't have any other action items that I wrote down from today's meeting, so I don't think we need to discuss that. And if we don't have anything else from anybody, I think we're done for today. So thank you all so much for participating and Zooming into the meeting.
Thanks for showing up, Julie.
Hey, I got to wear my Salvador Dali mustache mask today just for you guys. So
Very good. Stay safe, everybody.
Thank you to all the presenters. Great job.
Yeah, thanks, Chelsea. Nice presentation. Have a good one, guys.
and everybody.